Hey guys, it's good to see you, or I wish I could see you, and I look forward to the day when we can get back together again. I'm really wondering how you're doing. I know that a lot of you are still busy at home, you're working at home, you have lots of complications at home, but I know that some of you are really in deep concern about your future. I know that for many of you it's difficult being at home. You're juggling a lot of things. I'd like to hear from you. You don't have to give me details, but I'd like to just know, what are you as men going through? Because we have this image that everybody's taking walks with their wife in the afternoon because they have all this spare time, but I know that's not always the case. So I'd be interested in knowing if you would email me at rogert@bereanbaptist.com. Now I want to ask you a question, and the question is, how good are you at listening? So I want to come to the last word that I wanted to emphasize in Isaiah chapter 55 and just make a couple comments on that today. Here's what the passage says, Isaiah 55 verses 1 through 3. Come, everyone who thirsts, come to the waters, and he who has no money, come buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend your money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which does not satisfy? Listen diligently to me and eat what is good, and delight yourselves in rich food. Incline your ear and come to me. Hear that your soul may live, and I will make you an everlasting covenant, my steadfast, sure love for David. We've talked about some words here. We've talked about come, we've talked about buy, we've talked about eat and satisfy. Today I want to just ask about the word listen. How good a listener are you? And I know when you hear that, you first think, well, that's, when your wife yells at you from the kitchen and you hear something, but you really didn't hear it. You didn't really listen. We all know there's a difference between the faculty of hearing and the reception called listening. But this is not just about hearing information. This is about listening to your heart. It's about listening to your true condition. It's about listening to the things that reverberate through your soul every day as you think about your business, your work, how long this COVID-19 thing is going to go on. Are you listening? Have you taken a walk or gone out into the backyard or just sat in your chair and just really tried to listen to what's going on inside your soul and your heart? It's so important, men. But of course, if we only listen to ourselves, we're not going to hear the true thing that God wants us to hear, which is He wants us to hear His word, His assurance, His identity being poured into us. And paradoxically, it's only when we really listen, in other words, when we're quiet and we listen, that we become truly intentional. Because the role of any man, the role of any leader of any size group, is to clearly know what the issues are and then move forward. So if we really listen, then we can become intentional. And I know that's a kind of a word that scares us off a little bit. Intentional. I can't be on all the time. I can't be Mr. Energy all the time. Just ask my wife. I'm certainly not. I can't always be on top of things, but I can still be intentional. You know what this is? This is my old beat up drill. I use it mostly for putting in screws and drilling some holes, but this has a trigger on it, and you know what it is. It's called variable speed. In other words, it's not just on, or it's not just off or on. You can turn this thing very slowly at a variable speed, at just the speed you want. It's like a rheostat built into the drill. That's how I want you to think about intentionality. You can't suddenly leap from where you are into being totally Mr. Energy, but you can be intentional about something today. You can be intentional about just one thing. You can bring that to your home, you can bring that to your wife, you can bring that to your work, you can bring that to your children. Being intentional means I, on purpose, am going somewhere. And it starts with listening. I want to read you a little portion out of a book that I read it last year about this time, and I picked it up again, and it convicts me all over the place. It's called The Unhurried Leader. Boy, this thing kicks me in the pants every page. But let me just read you a paragraph out of it. And it's about listening. A listener is willing to listen and seek God for a vision of his character and way about his character and his way, even though what they learned might contradict much that they have believed before. Doing so is not easy for any of us. Oh, it's easy to listen when what we hear corresponds to what we already think. But I think we are tempted to be more defensive than teachable. We've believed certain things about God and his ways for years, maybe decades, and then someone comes along suggesting that our vision of God has been misguided on certain points. Are we so invested in our past experience that we aren't willing to be a listener in the present? Underscoring the importance of listening, God says that if we listen, we will live. I want some life in my day today. I want life to come through me. I want it to exude through me. And it starts with listening and not with defending my old point of view. And not with partially listening, just, with a little bit of attention, but with attentiveness. Guys, I know you have a lot on your plate. I hope you'll watch the video that I've sent along, the Greatest Hits video. And also, I hope that you'll read down in the email this week and download the app from John Eldridge called the Pause app and begin to listen to that several times a day. It simply invites you for 1 minute to pause. How often do we do that? Just to listen. Well, God bless you. I look forward to seeing you again soon, and have a great day.